Are you feeling unsatisfied with your life, or something just doesn't feel right that you want to make a change? I have been there before. I was a super workaholic. I wake up early, crazily working for hours, non-stop. So busy hustling without planning my life seriously. Until 7 months ago, I was laid off. That moment, I realized something needs to change. You can become unrecognizable in just 6 months. In fact, I realized it's not as difficult as I thought. You can also change your life in 6 months. Let's make it happen. A better life with a better version of you doesn't have to start with a big change, because every daily small habits will have a tremendous impact to your life. Perhaps you're also very familiar with this concept from the book, Atomic Habit. If you get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37% better by the time you're done. In the past, I would make drastic changes, try to wake up at 4 a.m. something, overcommitting to projects, starting so many new things, being so harsh to myself just to achieve lots of big goals in my life. But over years, I realized I just make it unrealistic, unenjoyable, and also hard to maintain as a habit. Your life is a marathon, not a sprint. So why rushing to have some big pivot while you may not able to stick with it? And then small habits that I'm referring to is just as simple as stop watching Netflix, just going out for work for 10 minutes, and it's just these tiny habits that eventually help me out to experience such big impact. So I'm going to share what are these habits or actions, and hopefully it also gives you some inspiration as well. There are 2 small habits that really make a huge impact in my life so far. And the first one is a daily early morning workout. So every morning I go out for an outdoor run for 30 minutes, 6 times per week, Monday to Saturday. And Sunday, I'll just do some basic core training. I can promise you, I am not an active person. Although I do go to gym sometimes, it isn't my thing. So at first, it was a bit difficult for me. But as I started for around 2 weeks, something has changed. I feel much more productive, get more work done, more optimistic, and just feeling so good before I start my workday. It's just like some magic happened. And the second habit is to have a consistent sleep schedule. Every day I sleep at 10 and no later at 10:30 and wake up at 6 something. No matter it's a weekday or weekend, I stick with this schedule. So making sure I get enough sleep. I found just having these 2 small habits, it has a huge impact to every aspect in my life. I got more resilience to face my daily challenges and be more positive. And I call them my keystone habits, which are the habits that create a ripple effects of more positive change in your life. So try to find or build at least 1 keystone habit for yourself and stick with it for at least 3 weeks. It's not necessarily exercising. Perhaps for you, it's reading, meditation, writing, being with the nature. And trust me, it will have a fundamental change to your life quicker than you think. The other action is to know what are the things or experience that you want to get away from. Whenever we want to change our life, we often have a question of asking what we want. But I realize it's the same powerful and actually easier to answer the questions. What are those that you want to get rid of in your life now? Is it your existing job, your toxic relationship, your unhealthy lifestyle? So make your life better by subtraction. And I found the quitting framework from Stephen Bartlett is so useful in these situations. Oftentimes we think quitting or subtraction is a loser behavior, but it's actually the opposite, because the fact that you need to quit things before you can start something new. What Stephen suggests is try to ask yourself, why are you thinking of quitting or subtracting? If they no longer serve you, then you should quit them as quickly as possible, because they will only drain your energy and do no good to your life. Research also shows that our brain has a strong tendency to adding over subtracting when looking for a solution. You don't need more goals, more friends, more meetings, but enough with meaning and quality. So have the courage to step away from those experiences that suck your energy out, end that unhealthy relationship, leave that toxic work environment, and find a new job that you deserve. Removing things that don't serve you anymore in your life. You will be surprised your life is just off a great start by just subtracting and quitting. Another habit is to focus less about the results but the input. I know it's a hard one, but let's face it, no matter how hard you try, how much effort you put in, the reality reality is you just cannot control the result, and no one can guarantee that. And from the book Feel Good Productivity by Abdaal. So he also suggests setting nice goals, which are near-term, input-based, controllable, and energizing. And I found it much more practical because they're all within my own control, and I can control how many work to be done. So you are feeling unsatisfied because you have expectation. We all trained by the society to focus on the results so much. When the outcome is not what we expected, we easily get demotivated. But you would be amazed how much more you can actually achieve if you just start shifting the focus from output to input. What are the things that you can complete today, tomorrow, this week, these coming 3 months? What have you learned and can improve next time? Write them down so they are your input goals, your actions, and they're the only things that you can control in your life. Instead of setting a high expectation of what are the results that you want to achieve, set a realistic plan of the actions that you can take daily. Another action is to start a passion project. Build a thing that you can take full control of. When I say build, it can be anything that interests you. It doesn't have to be making money, starting a new business, no, but something that gives you meaning and sense of fulfillment. Perhaps is revamping your little backyard, learning a new language, decorating your workstation, starting an online journal, writing a book, starting your personal website. We all have the need to feel that we are the master of our own destiny. And through these passion projects, you're gonna make all the decisions yourself, not relying on others, and take full control of it. You will learn new knowledge and apply them so they become your new skills. For me, my passion project has been writing my own songs. I do it purely because I love music, love the productions, but because of that, it also unlocks so many opportunities for me that I haven't thought of. I got songs published on Spotify, I got invitations to gigs, so I would like you to ask yourself, what are some passion projects that you would regret not doing in your life? Write them down, try to make it happen in 3 months. Your life will start to change when you start practicing how to regain control, making your own decisions, and make yourself accountable to it. Another habit is to start practicing deep work. So last year, I have read this book, Deep Work. It's written by Cal Newport, and I found it's really changed how I treat my daily work and helped me to stay much more focused and accomplish more on the things that I care about, but without trading off more of my time. So deep work is the ability to have intense focus and eliminate all the distraction to complete the most important task, whether it's a project or learning a new skills. Now I will schedule and time block my deep working hours, so there's no absolute rule, but I found for most people is usually 3 to 4 hours of concentration, and 4 hours is also what Cal is suggesting in his book. So within these working hours, I put aside my phone, no email checking, no social media, just deep work on the most important task for me, perhaps filming, doing client work, website, so you can start scheduling your deep working hours and practice it. Perhaps for you, it's not in the morning, it's in the evening, so find your best timing that you can naturally stay focused. Another key is to just do the most important things within that intense focus period. The more you try to do, the less you actually accomplish. Rather than trying to hustle for 8 to 10 hours, you actually only need a few hours daily of deep work on just 1 to 2 things that matter, and the rest is actually a distraction. He also suggests setting a deep work ritual, which is a routine that you follow to prepare your mind and body before you start deep working. For me, it's definitely a morning workout and also having my meal tea before I start my workday. So create your own deep work routine where you feel comfortable before starting your workday. And ultimately, the key is to create an environment where you can get into deep work mode more easily and stay disciplined. And you will find yourself much more motivated as you can achieve more on things that are important in your life. Another habit is to surround yourself with positive energy, human, content, everything, so you can attract more positive energy too. You will become what you are surrounded with daily. And the famous law of attraction mentions positive thinking attracts more positive energy to you. So immerse yourself with positive vibes. It can be hanging out with your friends with a growth mindset, following a person that you admire, listening to the podcast, reading books, channels, events that give you all the positive energy. And over time, your subconscious mind will start to think more positively. And this will have a huge impact on how you react in your daily life. And more good things will happen to you because your body will start transmitting the same energy to your surrounding. If you just want to get something started, I highly recommend the Mel Robbins podcast and Being Human podcast by Scott. And at the same time, avoid violent, negative emotion or any negative experience that you want to get away from, as I mentioned earlier. Another habit is to learn to love yourself. And this is a big one. Loving yourself doesn't mean to be selfish, but to be kind to yourself, putting yourself at a higher priority, and learn to forgive yourself if you make mistakes. And the biggest tip that I can give is to stop comparing yourself with others. We're living in a society that has high expectation on us. We need to play the milestone game, always competing, why they can do this, they can do that, but not me. But you need to understand everyone has their own path, their own struggle, and own problems. So instead of focusing on other people's lives, focus more on yourself. What are your strengths? What are your unfair advantage? And how you could do better than yesterday to make a positive change in your life. Because you are unique and you're bigger than what you think. Since I'm prioritizing my needs more, I feel more relief and empowered. I learn to say no more, reject opportunities that don't serve my purpose, and leave relationships that don't align with my values, and care less on how people think about me. Because I know if I don't care about myself, no one would. So you should do the same to yourself. Stop focusing on what people think about you. These are noise. Being grateful for what you have today and have accomplished, and you will have a whole new perspective on your life because you know something great is always waiting for you and you're capable of doing more great things in your life. The 21-90 rule says you only need 21 days to form a habit and 90 days to form a permanent lifestyle. So 6 months is definitely more than what you need. You only need 21 days to build these small habits or mindset change. So start today. Come back and share with me how it goes after 21 days. I hope this latest sharing can help you to navigate some of your life challenges. Remember, you can regain the control of your own life anytime. You don't need to wait. If you find this resonates with you, hit the like and subscribe button, so helping me to spread this message further. You can also subscribe to my digital growth newsletter if you want more digital and personal growth tips like this. See you soon.